Hello, Stephen here from the Leadership Loft. Welcome to Challenging Leadership. So one of my coachees didn't turn up today for their coaching session, so I've got about 10 minutes to spare and I thought I'll do a quick video. Now that means I haven't planned it, I haven't scripted it, and I won't have time to edit it, so it's going to be a bit rough and ready. But the topic I thought I'd talk about is something that's been rattling around my head for years really, and that is the idea of sheep dip training. So it's quite hard to say that, but what is it? So sheep dip training is when basically everybody in a business or team gets exactly the same training. So it's like sheep dip. So a farmer who wants to make sure his sheep don't get ticks and pests will put all of his flock through this sheep dip to make sure that they all get this treatment. And that's what sheep dipping is all about. And often training is considered, well, that's bad form for training in the workplace, particularly things like leadership development and things like that, because people have different strengths, different needs. And actually, it's really about trying to target what the learner needs through very specific targeted training. And a lot of time and effort can be spent really identifying tight learning objectives and just delivering those bits that the learner needs. It's particularly used, I suppose, or it has been used in online training because especially if it's all kind of done through computer algorithms, the algorithm can kind of say, okay, this is the bit that you should look at this for this skill that you need and so on. So it gets quite clever. And with AI, I think we're going to see more of this. So, okay, is that the best way to do it? So, of course, that has some real value. And there are some downsides of just putting everybody through a course because it can be expensive to do it that way. Plus, you're going to find some people on the program that have done it before. They already know this stuff maybe, and so they don't really see the need for them to be there. On the other hand, I think there are times when giving everybody the same training can be really, really useful. And partly that's because if you think about why a farmer might do sheep dipping for a start, there's clearly a reason why all of the sheep get the same treatment. And that's because they all need it. And it's better to make sure that everybody gets it than to have one or two that have missed it. So there's that. I think the other thing is, of course, we know if you're a trainer or if you've done training, you may have heard of the unconscious incompetence element. So unconscious incompetence are those things that we don't know. And often even our managers don't know that we don't know them or we can't do them. So actually what this sorts of training does, often it exposes learners to things that they didn't even know about in the first place, and that probably wouldn't be identified through some sort of filtering process. Plus, there's definitely some value in everybody having the same thing at the same time or around the same time because it allows them to talk to each other about the training. It's a social process, and actually things like leading and managing is a social process, and therefore learning together can help to encourage people to try and put things into practice. They can also talk to each other. One of the things that I always love is when people start making jokes with each other about, oh, that wasn't very assertive, was it? Or, did you really set a smart goal there? So there's a bit of kind of joking around, a bit of banter. I don't mind that at all. I think that's great because that demonstrates that people are talking about it, thinking about it, and from there can come more conversations. So yeah, there's some value in everybody doing the same. Okay, so some people will have done this material before, but maybe it's a long time ago. And the other question is, it's not just about what you know, it's about are you actually doing it, which is of course one of the big challenges. And the more that people can help each other, the better. So yeah, sheep dip training has a bad rap. Of course, it's not good for everything, but I think there are times when everybody getting the same thing around the same time is actually really useful. Okay, so that's it. I've got through it without making too many stumbles. I'm about to go and see a client today. I'm going to start a new program with a new client, so I'm very excited, a little bit nervous, but I'll be on my way shortly. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you again in the Leadership Loft. Bye for now.